Come on.
Julia, wait!
We don't have time to goof around. Huh?
For any Disney and Pixar fan that's watched the latest offering from the movie studios Luca, there are loads of incredible things to notice about the ending, and little details throughout the movie that you might have missed. Today we're going to delve into hidden secrets in Luca and what fans missed about the ending. Before we get into the video, make sure you like the video, it really helps out the channel and helps us create more content for you. Subscribe to our channel too, so you don't miss any of our future content, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever we upload a brand new video. Even if you watched Luca incredibly closely, there are still things you might have missed. Disney and Pixar love to sneak little Easter eggs and hidden details into their movies, and Luca is no exception. Let's start with one that you might find familiar. The number A113 features in almost every single Pixar movie to date. It is an important number for the creators of the film studio. A113 was the number of the classroom they studied animation in, and therefore it sneaks its way into almost every movie they work on. Did you spot the famous A113 in Luca? It was only on the screen for a moment, so it's okay if you didn't. The number can be seen on a train ticket that Alberto gives Luca to Genova so he can leave to go to school. Another familiar Easter egg is next, the Pizza Planet truck from Toy Story. The famous truck has worked its way into the background of almost every Pixar movie, just like A113, and it can also be seen here, but this time it has a distinctively Mediterranean twist. Luca is obviously set prior to modern day, somewhere around the 1950s or 1960s in Italy, so a big American truck wouldn't fit in with either the time or the place. However, in one rainy scene in the cobbled streets of Porto Rosso, you can see a roofed moped in a familiar yellow color with a little silver rocket on top. This is without a doubt the Luca version of the Pizza Planet truck, and we're living for it. The third famous Pixar Easter egg that we have for you today is the Pixar ball. The Pixar ball is also known as the Luxo ball, after the short film it first appeared in Luxo Jr. This is also the first short film that the desk lamp appeared in, which is now famous for being in Pixar's own logo. The ball is right there for fans to spot, although again, it's only visible for a little moment, and you might have to watch a couple of times before you can spot it. There is one scene you view from overhead of the kids racing through the streets on their bikes, and you can see it on a rooftop on the right-hand side of the frame. The bright colors of the ball are quite noticeable amongst the shadows of the roof, so you know where to look. You might be able to spot it up there. What else you might have missed from Luca? Did you notice the huge Disney star that made an appearance in the brand new movie? There is one of Disney's leading men that made a brief cameo appearance, surprising fans with his subtlety on screen. In a shot of Julia's room, when she is excitedly showing Luca some of her favorite books and magazines, we see lots of her belongings scattered around. Among these things is a stuffed toy that is unmistakably Donald Duck. The design is a little different than how we are used to seeing the famous character, but it is definitely him, just a little stylized to fit with the scene and overall feel of the movie. Donald Duck is not the only famous Disney character that Julia has in her bedroom. We see a book about the story of Pinocchio in her room as well, which is an amazing Easter egg, as that is also a story which had an incredibly famous Disney adaptation many years ago. Nice little nod. The book that Julia has about Pinocchio is written by Carlo Collito, the Italian man who wrote the original story. Luca even has a dream about the characters after learning of the story while he is spending time with Julia. It is fitting that Pinocchio features so heavily in this movie when it is originally an Italian story that Disney had adapted. Neat, right? If you think that's the only reference Disney makes to one of its older historic films, you'd be mistaken. Porto Rosso has a theater which is incredibly popular with the local citizens and has a ton of posters advertising their movies showing outside. Fittingly, for a town that is not only close to the sea but has people who love sea monsters, lots of movies showing there are themed around the sea and sea creatures. One such poster depicts 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which is a real movie made by Disney. It started out as a novel, as many such historic Disney movies are, and was made into a movie by the famous film studio. The movie was released in real life in 1954, and seems extremely appropriate that it is one of the heavily featured posters, as Luca is set somewhere in the 1950s. It's a nice little touch that fans of Disney will notice. That adds to the vibe of the time period and makes Porto Rosso feel more like a real place, where real people live. Julia isn't the only one with hidden Disney Easter eggs in her bedroom. Alberto takes Luca up to his hidden tower room, and it is absolutely full of stuff, mainly little bits and pieces of treasure that he has rescued from boats and ships. A couple of these scavenged items are of course familiar to fans who have seen them before in other Disney movies. The hat hanging on the bedpost looks exactly the same as Carl's hat in Up, which is interesting as Luca wants to explore more of the human world, and Carl ended up going on a journey he did not expect and learned a lot about other ways of life. We also see a single boot under the bed, which upon first glance might just look like a discarded piece of trash that Alberto has found. But if you look closely, it is a boot that we have seen before. The last time we saw this boot, it was full of soil and had a little green chute poking out of the top of it. It is the boot that Wally and Eve scooped up the plant in to preserve so they could save Earth. What about the ending of Luca? Well, there's a very hard to spot Easter egg that only the most dedicated of fans might have seen and understood. Right at the end of the movie, when we get a good view of the front of the train, we see a serial number stamped into the front of the train. The number is 96408. That's not just any number. It is an American zip code. The zip code is for Emeryville in California, where Pixar headquarters are located. That's not all. There is a second number sequence on the train, this time on the side of the train's main body. The side of the train is stamped with 1200 PA, which to the average viewer may just look like another serial number for the train. But not with Pixar. Virtually everything has some sort of hidden meaning. 1200 PA is a reference to 1200 Park Avenue, which is where the Pixar Animation Studios is located, once again in California. Aside from the Easter ending, what else about the ending may fans have missed? Well, the ending scene has a very poignant moment, which may have been missed by fans. In the very final moments of the movie, Luca was leaning off the train, taking him away to school in Genova, and the rain pouring on him caused him to turn into his sea monster form. He seemed overtaken with sadness, looking out to sea with longing, and he saw a ray of sunshine coming through the clouds onto Alberto's island. Suddenly, upon seeing this, his mood seems to change, and he begins to look forward to the new part of his life at school. But why did this sight make him excited for things to come? It's not obvious at first, but we think that Luca, upon seeing the island, was reminded of how afraid he was of new things when he first arrived there, and he had to learn to face his fears. It was about becoming brave and overcoming his doubts that led him to learn about a different way of life and make new friends. He realizes in this moment that he is capable of doing this again, and that going to school will be another instance where he has the chance to show his bravery and experience something new. In the credits scene, we can see in the sketches showing Luca's life at school, with Julia that he is free to be himself. He does not have to hide his sea monster form, and his fellow students and teacher are amazed by his special abilities. He experiences all sorts of wonderful things with Julia, like reading in the library when it's cold outside, going to see movies at the theater, and stargazing through the enormous telescope at school. He also keeps in touch with Alberto through writing letters, showing that they have not lost their relationship that makes them so special. So there you have it, all the secrets in Luca and in the ending that you might have missed. What did you think of this video? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Please remember to subscribe and switch on those notifications. We will see you next time.